Hello, this is Class 1, Lesson 1B of the Clinical Research Associate Excellence course. My name is Daniel Hermann O'Morain. I've been in the clinical operations research field for over 20 years as a lead CRA, CRA, and a clinical coordinator. Most of my time has been spent in the oncology milieu, but also in pulmonary and infectious disease. The goal of the Clinical Research Associate Excellence course is to share tips and tricks and wisdom that I've gleaned over my 20-year clinical research career. What I want to do is share these ideas with CRAs who desire to become excellent. Class 1 of the course deals with the onboarding and SOP period. Lesson 1 deals with the employer summary workbook that I use. And lesson 1B deals with a timeline worksheet that I use to get and stay organized so that I can do a fast assessment of upcoming deadlines and milestones. So this is the syllabus for the complete Clinical Research Associate Excellence course. As you can see, there are 6 classes, and we are in class 1. Onboarding and SOP Training. So this is the outline for Class 1, which is Onboarding and SOP Training, and Lesson 1. We've already done Lesson 1A, and for this lesson, we are going to be doing Lesson 1B, which is the timeline worksheet. So to go back to an earlier recording, this workbook is called the Employer Summary Workbook. In Class 1, Lesson 1A, we talked about the log worksheet. Now we're going to talk about the timeline worksheet. And throughout this class, we're going to be talking about each of these worksheets. But today we're going to be talking about the timeline worksheet. So this is the timeline worksheet, and this is the way I use it. I pre-populated some of the columns for demonstration purposes. The first column will be the date. The second column will be everything related to the employer. Column C will be the fictitious study AAA. Column D will be the fictitious site XXX on the AAA study, and so on. So what I'm going to do is stretch the dates down here for the fill. And I've included the date format with the day in it. So that way I don't accidentally schedule anything on the weekends, which very rarely happens. By the way, I'm going to move this timeline worksheet to the study workbook, but that will happen in a later lesson. Right now, I just want to show you how I use this worksheet in the SOP and onboarding period. So let's say that we started the job on let's say coming up here on May 7th. Tuesday, May 7th. Let's say I'm expecting a meeting with my line manager. I'll put that in there. And let's say I get an email that says I am going to have a 10 o'clock HR meeting. And then on Friday, first timesheet is due. And let's say I started on the 6th, which will be tomorrow. They're going to give me 2 weeks for onboarding and SOP training. So I'm going to go up 2 weeks, 14th to 20th. I'm going to say SOP training due. And I'm going to put that in red because that's a pretty important one. And these color codes are a lot like the ones I used in the log worksheet. Red means really important. Green means action, etc. So that is just an example of how I use the timeline. Later on, after I transfer this to this study, I will show you how I use this exact timeline to capture events that relate to studies and sites. So for study things, they're going to be like project meetings, team meetings, IMVs, reports, due dates, things like that. I understand that Outlook, the calendar function, is used for this. I've tried it and it doesn't work for me. This format works a lot better for me because I can do something very simple like click on Tuesday the 14th and find out if anything is going to be due then, what's coming up. For me, it's just an easy way to manage my time and events. So that's it for the class on, or the lesson on the timelines worksheet. I use timelines a lot to help try to understand complicated problems. I use it in the monitoring tool. I use timelines a lot. It has worked for me. To get back to the themes that I've talked about earlier, the themes are organization, assessment, and this tool, the timeline tool, is good at both. When I put in the milestones and deadlines coming up, it's a really good and efficient way of determining what actions I need to take. So that's it for the timelines class. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7.